What's up? It's Kania, your medicine woman, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about messages from the body. I'm out running some errands, but this is always a great time to get some stuff off my head and get it down to talk to you guys. So let's just talk about disease. Dis-ease. If you've ever been to a chiropractor or almost any kind of holistic medicine practitioner, you've probably heard us break this word down and be like disease, dis-ease. And the premise is simple, that your birthright is to be happy and healthy and whole. And so anytime you're not experiencing that, there's a lack of ease or a dis-ease in which your body's trying to tell you, hey, something's wrong, I need you to do something about it, all right? So in Western medicine, or also known as allopathic, or I even call it modern medicine, and I have to say modern because even if you go into the West and you go past the modern times, herbal medicine was commonplace. This is nothing new. Now, there are different herbs that have been used in the East versus the West. But prior to about 150 years ago, herbal medicine and using herbs for health and wellness was very commonplace. So herbal medicine itself is not new. And if you go really back into ancient times, you will learn about the mind-body-spirit connection. So none of this is new. But the West kind of lost it, whereas the East tended to keep up with it. So a lot of what we hear about, people consider it Eastern medicine, but really it's ancient healing modalities, all right? But just for the term, so allopathic or Western or even modern medicine, I might use those interchangeably, versus holistic medicine. Also, you may call it Eastern, okay? Holistic versus allopathic. So anywho, let's just say you hit your head, okay? So you hit your head, God forbid you got in a car accident or something, right? You hit your head, or like the seatbelt. So whatever may happen, there's a physical cause. And so therefore you need a physical remedy, like, oh, I hit my head, and so you'll do what it takes to heal that. Now you might take some pain medication to mitigate the symptoms while your body heals. But if none of that has happened and yet you're still having headaches, think about people, for example, who have migraines. There's something else that's happening. There's something that's triggering it. And what's hard to pinpoint is that a trigger for a physical ailment may not always be a physical thing. A lot of the times, like for myself personally, because I use a real life example, I'm dealing with some inflammation right now. And I've been dealing with it ongoingly for the past 4 or 5 years. And it's been really frustrating trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to figure out the triggers. And so having done all the allergy tests and patch tests and blood work and hormonal write-ups, almost every kind of test you could think of in Western or allopathic medicine, they're like, you're in good health. We don't know. And so the only thing we can tell you is that your immune system is going crazy. We need to suppress it. So I had prednisone, and then they wanted to give me like what they call some biologics. And you guys, the thing about these medications is that they don't solve the problem. What they're really doing is they're masking the symptoms. So if you're getting headaches and so then you're just taking Advil, what you're going to find 9 times out of 10, if it hasn't been a physical cause, is that you're going to slowly need to continue to increase the dosage of the medication because the underlying issue hasn't been addressed. Whereas in a holistic approach, we may mask the symptoms if it's too, intense, but then we're looking to deal with the underlying issue, like what is it underneath, okay? With that being said, how do you do that? Well, how do you find the underlying issue? If you can't find it in medical tests, if you can't find it, blood work, how do you find it? This is where the woo-woo-ness of this work comes in. Let's talk about messages from the body. So many different practitioners have different tools they use. I've got resources. You guys, I'm a bookworm, I'm a nerd, I do research, okay? But I'm also really spiritual. So there's a few different things I'll do. One of them is I have a wonderful reference. And what it helps me find out, let's say, for example, I'm working with a naturopathic doctor. I'm working with someone. And she's like, what's going on here in your neck, that line, that lets me know there's something going on with your thyroid. So now she's, of course, giving me some herbs and supplements to take that are going to help nourish and support my thyroid gland. Great. And in the meantime, I'm going to look at, I wasn't born with a thyroid condition. So what could be going on in my life that would create a thyroid condition? I don't know. But luckily, there's a resource for that. There's two resources. One, if you haven't ever heard of Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, that's one. Excuse me. It's a great resource because she looks at issues in the body, and then she'll give you kind of like a cause, and then from affirmations and things that you can do and some work that you can do to help mitigate that cause. Okay? Then there's another text that I use, and this text is called Messages from the Body. And I really like this one because it goes a little bit more in depth. Like if Louise Hay's book is this big, this one is like that big, okay? And it goes really, really in depth about different mental and emotional causes for various diagnoses, whether you're having the problem, is this a thyroid issue, is it happening on your face, if you're having inflammation, where are you seeing the inflammation? And what I do working with you is we will look at it and then we'll figure out specifically what's there for you. Now that's the work where me as a coach, me as a minister, that's where that comes in. So we're going to get you some herbs, okay? We're going to get you some things to support that body system, perhaps mitigate some of the symptoms, but then we're also going to do the work. So I would tell you that the thyroid in particular, so as I'm researching this, there's many, and there could be many different causes. And so part of what I'll do working with you is we'll look to see, well, what is that cause? And then you see what resonates with you. So that's some of the individualized work, because there might be 4 or 5 different causes. We got to figure out which one's for you. And the one for me that was there, oh my gosh, that resonated with me, that literally brought me to tears this morning, was called, it was ultimately, but not for me. And it was saying how I feel like there's like everyone else is entitled to and can have the success and the love and the quality of life that they want, but not me. Feeling like for some reason I don't get to have what I want. And then was like, whoa. And as I went through all the different potential causes, that one, it stuck with me. Now, this is the thing, you guys, knowing is only half the battle. The question is, what do you do with that knowledge? And so then that's the next phase of the work. If you're not familiar with something called EFT, which is the Emotional Freedom Technique, also known as tapping, that's one of the great tools that you can use if we can figure out an emotional or a mental cause. We can use tapping to then help you process it. It's a very simple technique. Sometimes the hard part about it is figuring out exactly what the issue is. But then we just take you through the series of tapping, and I'm going to throw a video in that will explain it probably a little bit better than I can. But that's one of the tools. So if you're working with me, I'm going to help you find out, like, you get diagnosed by your doctor, naturopathic or otherwise. And then when you come to me, part of what I can help you with is figuring out, okay, my body, what's my body trying to tell me? And then we will create both the affirmations and we'll do the work to release the emotions and then to begin to shift the mindset. So that's what it means, a mind, body, spirit approach. There might be some things you do physically. There's going to be things you do mentally and emotionally, all of it, that are going to then help your body shift into homeostasis or back to normal. And as you do work, different things will come up, different things will trigger you. So that is about Messages from the Body. It's a wonderful technique. Your body only wants you to be healthy. And so if you're feeling any sort of disease, discomfort, whatever it is, it's not just old age, you guys. It's not just the way it is. Even if it's been this way for a long time, it can be resolved. But for that to happen, you've got to partner with people who can support you in this. So if you haven't done your wellness assessment with me, get started. The initial basic wellness assessment, there's no cost, and it allows me to get a quick idea of what's going on with your body systems. And if you want to get into the deeper pieces of it, then let's do a consultation and let's get this done. Wellness is your birthright. Yeah, even including me. And I didn't even realize that I was excluding myself from it. But then I was like, you know what? Yep. But even me, yeah, even me, and you, and everyone else. So until the next time, be well, stay fabulous, and let me work with you. It would be my pleasure to serve. Okay, bye.